Grand Theft Auto, 10 most evil characters in the trilogy. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to GTA Swamper. 10. Officer Tenpenny. Samuel L. Jackson is as convincing as ever in this role of the corrupt police officer, who gives protagonist CJ a world of trouble. As a corrupt narcotics agent, Tenpenny uses his power to brutalize gangs while taking their profits in a vicious cycle that leaves the wrong people in control of the Los Santos neighborhoods. Tenpenny shows no mercy for killing honest cops who threaten to turn him into internal affairs. He forces CJ to do his dirty work in a display of disregard for the law beyond normal GTA cops. 9. Catalina. Catalina is a double-crosser who uses her good looks and wicked malice to get ahead in life. As the primary antagonist of the third game, Catalina instigates the game's central events by viciously shooting the protagonist, Claude, and leaving him for dead. Catalina has no real allegiance beyond herself, even abandoning CJ after a crazy crime spree. As dangerous as she is, her unwillingness to form lasting partnerships is ultimately what leads to her demise. 8. Big Smoke. There are few characters in the universe of Grand Theft Auto as scoundrel-like as Big Smoke. Never happy being a part of the gang, Big Smoke has to have everything for himself, going so far as to abandon his friends for the sake of power and drugs. It's hard to see someone players identified as a friend change into a narcissistic enemy, but that's life in Los Santos. 7. Claude. The protagonist of the third game himself is a pretty rotten egg. While he might be somewhat justified on his quest for revenge against his ex-girlfriend Catalina, Claude still kills a lot of the people who helped him along the way. The silent protagonist is something of a psychopath in this regard, even if it is the players who control him. And if players feel like it, Claude can be an absolute menace and threat to everybody casually walking around in Liberty City. 6. Lance Vance. Another character who is incapable of playing on a team and must have the world for themselves, Lance is the second in command in the Vance crime family, with his brother serving as the mob boss. Lance is a tough one to lose to greed, but it makes sense given Tommy's rise to power in Vice City. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, Lance starts to go crazy from the sleaze and forms a sinister bond with Tommy's enemies. Nobody likes a backstabber. 5. Salvatore. The mob kingpin himself is quite the crook. Never one to play clean, Salvatore makes full use of the mafia shooters at his disposal to assassinate anyone who he thinks stands in his way. Unfortunately, Claude falls under his crosshairs after Salvatore's wife takes a liking to the silent hunk. Consequently, Claude must act quickly to save his life from the devious schemes of the mafia. 4. Sonny. Jealousy seems to be a common trait amongst the antagonists of Grand Theft Auto. Whether from the money or fame, something festers inside these characters that causes them to lash out so violently. Sonny could never stand the success Tommy had, and he isn't afraid to screw over anyone he can't stand, hence why he got Tommy incarcerated in the first place. But after Tommy gets out of jail, Sonny is suddenly a great pal to his old friend, a true snake in the grass. 3. Eddie Pulaski. Eddie might not be the most villainous antagonist in the series, but he has a loud and dirty enough mouth to be considered as such. Eddie is a lackey for Tenpenny, a henchman by any other name who muscles his way into the gangland cash flow. Eddie might have an allegiance to Tenpenny, but it's really only because he is his source for money. If Tenpenny demands it, Eddie is willing to cross any sort of line to make sure they stay in the clear. 2. Jizzy B. Jizzy B isn't the most intimidating antagonist in the series, but he's still a conniving rat who gets others to do his dirty work for him. He is also a notorious pimp who uses his position of power to verbally abuse and demean the women who work for him. CJ might not be the nicest guy in the world, but at least he respects those who he works with. 1. Ricardo Diaz. Ricardo is a straight-up psychopath fueled by his love of drugs and money. Ricardo might be a kingpin, but he is too absorbed in his little world of guns and luxury items to see how his actions have consequences. He is a vicious man who will take out his anger on just about anyone when things are not going as he envisioned. Ricardo is a great example of how evil and power eventually crumbles when left to their own devices. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them.